Classical Conversations, Cycle 1, Week 5. Let's go ahead and start with our math for skip counting. 9, 18, 27, 36, 45 and 54, 63 and 72, 81 and 90, 99, 108, 117, 126, 135. Let's try it again. 9, 18, 27, 36, 45 and 54, 63 and 72, 81 and 90, 99, 108, 117, 126, 135. Let's try here. 9, 18, 27, 36, 45 and 54, 63 and 72, 81 and 90, 99, 108, 117, 126, 135. Awesome, let's do it again. 9, 18, 27, 36, 45 and 54, 63 and 72, 81 and 90, 99, 108, 117, 126, 135. All right, this is our last time for the nines. Here we go. 9, 18, 27, 36, 45 and 54, 63 and 72, 81 and 90, 99, 108, 117, 106, 126, and 135. All right, let's try the tens. I'm going to grab a shaker, and we're going to shake for the tens. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120, 130, 140, and 150. Let's see, I think I even have another shaker for when I get to 150. I'll shake both of them. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120, 130, 140, 150. Let's try that again. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120, 130, 140, 150. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120, 130, 140, 150. Let me show you here. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120, 130, 140, 150. This is 10 times 1 is 10. Do you see how we are doing the tens times 1, times 2, times 3, and the nines, that's what we did earlier. Let me see if we can count here on my paper. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120, 130, 140, 150. Last time. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120, 130, 140, 150. All right, great job. That was counting the nines and the tens for math. That's what we did this week. For English, we're still on prepositions. Oh, Sarah. Sarah's going to come and help me. Are you ready, Sarah? Yeah, I'm ready. Hi, guys. Are you ready to play? All right, we're going to do between. I want you to take your finger. You can put it between your eyes. All right, Sarah, I'm going to put my finger between your eyes. Now I want you to go beyond. Go beyond. Infinity and beyond. Now I want you to do but. Raise your hand up like a B. But. Now say bye. Bye. And then I want you to do concerning. Can you think about something? Concerning. Okay, between, beyond, but, by, concerning. Between, beyond, but, by, concerning. All right, Sarah, I'm going to have to say goodbye to you, but I'll see you later, okay? Bye. Let's try. Between, beyond, but, by, concerning. 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 Between, beyond, woo! Between, beyond, but, by, concerning. Let's try it again. Between, beyond, but, by, concerning. Can you go faster? Between, beyond, but, by, concerning. It's like infinity and beyond. Infinity and beyond. Here we go. Between, beyond, but, by, concerning. Between, beyond, but, by, concerning. Those are our prepositions. Prepositions, between, beyond, but, by, concerning. Let's go to history. All right, Bastion, this was your favorite. I need your help. You ready? Help me out. We are learning about the Roman Republic. Okay, here we go. Tell me about the Romans. Can you tell me about the Romans? I'll read it first. The Roman Republic became the Roman Empire when Augustus was crowned emperor in 27 BC. This was followed by the Pax Romana. In 82-86, the empire divided into the Western and Eastern empires until Germanic barbarians defeated the Western Empire in 84-76. The Roman Republic became the Roman Empire when Augustus was crowned emperor. In 27 BC, this was followed by the Pax Romana. And this was in 82-86, the empire divided into Western and Eastern empires until Germanic barbarians defeated the Western Empire in 476. Let's try that again. The Roman Republic became the Roman Empire when Augustus was crowned emperor in 27 BC. This was followed by the Pax Romana. In 82-86, the empire divided into Western and Eastern empires until Germanic barbarians defeated the Western Empire in 84-76. The Roman Republic became the Roman Empire when Augustus was crowned emperor in 27 BC. This was followed by the Pax Romana. In 82-86, the empire divided into Western and Eastern empires until Germanic barbarians defeated the Western Empire in 84-76. The Roman Republic became the Roman Empire when Augustus was crowned emperor in 27 BC. This was followed by the Pax Romana. In 82-86, the empire divided into Western and Eastern empires until Germanic barbarians defeated the Western Empire in 84-76. The Roman Republic became the Roman Empire when Augustus was crowned emperor in 27 BC. This was followed by the Pax Romana. In 82-86, the empire divided into Western and Eastern empires until Germanic barbarians defeated the Western Empire in 84-76. The Roman Republic became the Roman Empire when Augustus was crowned emperor in 27 BC. This was followed by the Pax Romana. In 82-86, the empire divided into Western and Eastern empires until Germanic barbarians defeated the Western Empire in 84-76. Last time, the Roman Republic became the Roman Empire when Augustus was crowned emperor in 27 BC. This was followed by the Pax Romana. In 82-86, the empire divided into Western and Eastern empires until the Germanic barbarians defeated the Western Empire in 84-76. All right, Bastion, I know you can help me with that next week. All right, let's move on to Latin. We're working on second declension noun endings. We're going to work on singular. Do you see how it says us? E-O-O. Us sounds like an octopus. You can take your two tentacles for second declension and you can wiggle them and we can say us, E-O-O. When you say the last O, you can do like a bow on your hair or you can do a bow tie. So us, E-O-O. Us, E-O-O. Us, E-O-O. Singular second declensions. Let's see what we're going to do for plural. Plural is E, like tree. So I want you to take your two fingers and make trees, like tree branches. E, orm, is, us, is. E, orm, is, us, is. E, orm, is, us, is. Plural second declension. All right, let's try that again. We're going to start off with the singular, and then we're going to do plural. Us, E-O-O. Us, E-O-O. Us, E-O-O. Singular second declension. E-arm, is, us, is. E-arm, is, us, is. E-arm, is, us, is. Plural second declension. Us, E-O-O. Us, E-O-O. Us, E-O-O. Singular second declension. E-orm, is, us, is. E-orm, is, us, is. E-orm, is, us, is. Plural second declension. Us, E-O-O. Us, E-O-O. Us, E-O-O. Singular second declension. E-orm, is, us, is. E-orm, is, us, is. E-orm, is, us, is. Plural second declension. Us, E-O-O. Us, E-O-O. Us, E-O-O. Singular second declension. E-orm, is, us, is. E-orm, whoop. E-orm, is, us, is. Here we go. E-orm, is, us, is. Plural second declension. One more time. This will be our last time. Are you ready? Here we go. Us, E-O-M-O. Us, E-O-M-O. Us, E-O-M-O. Singular second declension. E-orm, is, us, is. E-orm, is, us, is. E-orm, is, us, is. Plural second declension. Very good. That was our Latin. We're going to come over here to science. Science was so much fun today, y'all. Y'all did such a great job at science. We learned about invertebrates. Invertebrates, we got mollusk, sponges, sea stars, stinging cell animals, flatworms, roundworms, segmented worms, and arthropods. I gave you some cards and we all stood up. And so, let's see. We're going to sing a song and I will hold up the card when we get to it. Okay. What are the major groups of invertebrates? Mollusks, sponges, and sea stars. Ba 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 ba. Stinging cell animals, flatworms, roundworms, segmented worms, and arthropods. Let's try that again. You should see my floor. All of these invertebrates are all over the floor. Let's try again. What are the major groups of invertebrates? Let's see, can we try and unscramble them? Mollusks, sponges, and sea stars. Ba 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 ba. Stinging cell animals, flatworms, roundworms, segmented worms, and arthropods. Isn't that fun? Trying to unscramble which one goes where? Try it again with me. What are the major groups of invertebrates? Here we go. Mollusks, sponges, and sea stars. Ba 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 ba. Stinging cell animals, flatworms, roundworms, segmented worms, and arthropods. Let's try again. What are the major groups of invertebrates? Mollusks, sponges, and sea stars. Ba 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 ba. Stinging cell animals, flatworms, roundworms, segmented worms, and arthropods. You try. What are the major groups of invertebrates? Mollusks, sponges, and sea stars. Ba 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 ba. Stinging cell animals, flatworms, roundworms, segmented worms, and arthropods. What are the major groups of invertebrates? Mollusks, sponges, and sea stars. Ba 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 ba. Stinging cell animals, flatworms, roundworms, segmented worms, and arthropods. Very good. That was our science, and I hope you enjoyed that little song. That was If I Only Had a Brain from The Wizard of Oz. All right, let's move on to geography. In geography, we learned about the Egyptian Empire, okay? The Egyptian Empire, we have Egypt right here in the blue. The Nile River is flowing. Actually, it flows up into the Mediterranean Sea. We have the Nile River Delta. These like little streams, do you see them? The Nile River Delta, all these little rivers. We're going to use 3 fingers. We have Lower Egypt is actually up at the top, and Upper Egypt is down at the bottom. Help me sing this song. The Egyptian Empire, Nile River Delta to the sea. The Nile River curving down in Africa, you see. Upper Egypt in the south, Lower Egypt in the north. You'll find Egypt to the south. Egypt, make an E. You'll find Egypt to the south of the Mediterranean Sea. Quack, quack. The Egyptian Empire, Nile River Delta to the sea. The Nile River curving down in Africa, you see. Upper Egypt in the south, Lower Egypt in the north. You'll find Egypt to the south of the Mediterranean Sea. Quack, quack. Let's try again. The Egyptian Empire, Nile River Delta to the sea. The Nile River curving down in Africa, you see. Upper Egypt in the south, Lower Egypt in the north. You'll find Egypt to the south of the Mediterranean Sea. Quack, quack. Let's try it again. The Egyptian Empire, Nile River Delta to the sea. The Nile River curving down in Africa, you see. Upper Egypt in the south, Lower Egypt in the north. You'll find Egypt to the south of the Mediterranean Sea. Quack, quack. The Egyptian Empire, Nile River Delta to the sea. The Nile River curving down in Africa, you see. Upper Egypt in the... where? In the south. Lower Egypt in the where? North. You'll find Egypt in the south of the Mediterranean Sea. Quack, quack. Last time. The Egyptian Empire, Nile River Delta to the sea. The Nile River curving down in Africa, you see. Upper Egypt in the south, Lower Egypt in the north. You'll find Egypt in the south of the Mediterranean Sea. Quack, quack. All right, let's see. Well, this last thing that we're going to do We just finished our geography. Geography was the Egyptian Empire, Egypt, Nile River, Upper and Lower Egypt, and the Nile River Delta. We are going to move on to timeline. I'm so excited about timeline because this week we have a great part to the song and I need your help. So if you want to stand up when you see your card, you had a card in class and you can stand up when you hear it's your turn. So here we go. I'm just putting them in order. All right. So the first one we have is Judah falls to Babylon, temple destroyed. Then we have Babylon falls to Persia. Jews return and rebuild the temple. Roman Republic, Golden Age of Greece, Peloponnesian Wars, Persia falls to Alexander the Great. All right, let's try. Help me out. We got Judah falls to Babylon, temple destroyed. Babylon falls to Persia, Jews return and rebuild the temple. Roman Republic, Golden Age of Greece, Peloponnesian War. Persia falls to Alexander the Great. Let's try again. Judah falls to Babylon, temple destroyed. Babylon falls to Persia, Jews return and rebuild the temple. Roman Republic, Golden Age of Greece, Peloponnesian War. Persia falls to Alexander the Great. Judah falls to Babylon, temple destroyed. Babylon falls to Persia, Jews return and rebuild the temple. Roman Republic, Golden Age of Greece, Peloponnesian War. Persia falls to Alexander the Great. Judah falls to Babylon, temple destroyed. Babylon falls to Persia, Jews return and rebuild the temple. Roman Republic, Golden Age of Greece, Peloponnesian War. Persia falls to Alexander the Great. Last time. Judah falls to Babylon, temple destroyed. Babylon falls to Persia, Jews return and rebuild the temple. Roman Republic, Golden Age of Greece, Peloponnesian War. Persia falls to Alexander the Great. Great job with your timeline. Well, that was all of our memory work for Classical Conversations CC Cycle 1, Week 5. We did our math, English, timeline, history, Latin, science, and geography. We are going to go ahead and talk about what we talked about in art. In art today, we talked about drawing perspectives. Okay, perspective is a set of rules used to draw three-dimensional objects on a flat two-dimensional surface and is used to create an illusion of depth on that flat surface. Do you see the objects closer to the viewer appear bigger? Do you see it looks bigger here, and that looks like it's going away. It looks smaller over here. Okay, the parallel lines intersect at the horizon line at a vanishing point. It's right there. It's like kind of starts vanishing off into the distance. I use these other pictures to kind of showcase that. Perspective, remember, it's creating the illusion of depth, okay? And so this one looks larger, but this one over here, it looks smaller, okay? This one looks closer to me. That one looks further away. It's smaller. Here, do you see these two parallel lines? It looks like it's riding off way over there, and all of a sudden the train like disappeared. The train tracks. These are the parallel lines, and the vanishing point is actually right there. Same with here. The vanishing point is right here, the horizon line. Here also you can see with the doors. This door is larger, it's up front, it's closer to me, and those doors are smaller. The vanishing point is actually going this way. Okay, it's probably like right there. And these doors look smaller. This is perspective, okay? We were learning about perspective, and a way that we also did perspective was we learned and we drew a Japanese pagoda. I think that's right. But this was the instructions on how we drew it, and we came out with a picture that looked like this. That's what we did in art today, learning about perspective. The next thing that we learned about was in science. Science, we learned about, we continued learning about pollution. With pollution, we learned about oily feathers. These are some animals that God has gifted, these amazing animals, with a natural oil on their feathers, and it allows them to float. Do you see that little duckling up there? That little duck is floating in the water. Have you ever wondered why? Isn't that incredible? They're floating. And do you see the water droplets on that feather right there? Do you see? Do you see how the water just beads on that feather? Even when the bird takes a bath, do you see the oil floating on top of the water? Just like the bird when we put the oil inside the water today for our science experiment. But what happens when we put detergent, a pollutant, into our water? We talked about car washes, washing our car outside. Where does the soap go? Where does it go? We also talked about how other things that we do with the detergent and how we can just be able to respect the things that God has given us and take care of His beautiful creation and His beautiful world. And we also learned about how that an object will float when it's less dense, okay? And that oil and water do not mix. We also talked about why the oil breaks up into tiny little pieces, tiny little bubbles, and sinks to the bottom. Okay? And the other thing that we also talked about that first science experiment was that the purpose of it was to demonstrate the effect of the polluting detergents, how they can have an effect on the birds. And we found out that some of the birds, if they get wet with the detergent and the soap, that what do you think will happen? The oil started sinking to the bottom, didn't it? Soaps can cause a swimming bird to sink and drown. We don't want that to happen, because God actually made these birds waterproof, okay? And because of the oil on their feathers, it allows them to be waterproof. And so we just want to make sure that we're watching what we're putting into our water. The next thing we did was we talked about tangled, okay? So this is a picture of garbage that got caught, that is actually been thrown into the water. Look at these animals. Does this trash bag look like a jellyfish? It does, but it's actually one of our plastic bags that we use at the grocery store. Do you think an animal might eat that trash bag because it thought it was a jellyfish? Do you think that animal will be able to eat it and survive and pass it? No, it won't. So that's actually, like, look at this. Do you see how it's strangling that poor little sea lion? Okay? And look at this. The Coke bottle trash, the garbage, is wrapped around the sea turtle. And look, around the tail and even around the fish. So we did an experiment with a rubber band. We put the rubber band behind this finger and behind this finger, and the rubber band went around our hand, and we tried to not use our other hand to take the rubber band off. Okay, and what happened, was it challenging to remove the rubber band? Was it challenging to take the rubber band off of your hand? It was very challenging to take that rubber band off, especially not being able to use your other hand. Well, just like the animals, they can't take the rubber band off because they don't have hands. So they have to wiggle and worm and squirm and try and take that rubber band off. And sometimes it's not as easy as it just looked right there. Sometimes it's very, very hard. And sometimes they can't get it off. And you know what happens if they can't get it off? They'll die. So some things that we learned about were that they were trapped, tangled, and the plastic does not compose. Because did you know that the garbage, the animals, it might take as long as 300 years for the plastic garbage to decompose in seawater. And turtles swallowing floating plastic bags because they mistake them for jellyfish, their digestive tract becomes blocked and they will die. Seals and fish and other animals get plastic rings around their bodies and find them even more difficult to remove than you did the rubber band. So the purpose was to determine one effect of plastic garbage pollution on sea animals. And we found out that it's very difficult to remove the rubber band from your hand. And same with those sea creatures. So I hope you have an awesome week, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Bye!